Hey guys, Muncheez here, and welcome to another solo leveling Rise video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about JinWoo skills and what to level, what to look out for. So pretty much what to prioritize, which ones to look out for, and all that. So first thing, weapons. So I personally think that these are very, very worth leveling. A lot of the damage that you do with JinWoo comes from the weapons. So once you get your weapons that you got like locked in, like for example, I'm locked in with the Plum Sword and Moon Shadow. So I'm leveling the crap out of these skills. So I highly recommend leveling the skills on Jinwoo's weapons. They're a unique thing to Jinwoo. If I were to give them an order, I would say do the on-you skill first, and then the core attack, and then the auto attack if you have like leftovers and whatnot. And if you want to be super frugal with your skill scrolls, you can just kind of hold off on leveling the auto attacks if you wish. Now for his skills, basically, I'll try to split this up into three parts. So the first part is like the DPS skills. The best damaging skills that I've found so far is Vital Strike and Mutilate. Both of these, base alone, without like any runes or anything like that, are pretty decent, and they have gotten me through a lot of the content without having, when I needed extra damage, I switched to these two, and I was able to actually clear the content when I was kind of below power level. So I was able to clear with these two. So I highly recommend these two skills, Vital Strike and Mutilate, for the damage skills. As far as runes and stuff go, this is like endgame kind of farming type deal to start getting all these runes. In the beginning, I'm pretty sure everybody's in kind of the same boat unless you're like some huge whale. You don't really have that many runes to choose from, but the one that I would keep an eye out for is the Mutilate rune that has the holding ability on it, which is the dark one. So keep an eye out for this one. It's Stroke of Lightning. It's a holding ability, so you're going to hold this down, and it does an absolute crap ton of damage. And there's a chance that you'll ignore like all the defense on whatever you're attacking. So this skill, when you get this rune, it's good without the rune, but once you get this, you'll deal a crap ton of, you're just dealing full damage to whatever you're hitting. There's a 20% chance to do that. So now for the break abilities, there is one ability that you get at level 55 unless you craft it at the fusion counter, and that's Armor Break. This is the best break skill for Jinwoo in the game. If you get this and you're wondering if you want to level any other skills for breaking, this is the one that you want to level. As far as the other slot, you can use Multi-Strike or Death Stance. So either one of these are great. And if you don't have the Armor Break, these are the two that you're going to use, is the Multi-Strike and Death Stance. So Multi-Strike's cooldown is a little shorter. I want to say it's about 10 seconds, and Death Stance, unless you have the Wind Rune on, it's 15 seconds. So Multi-Strike does medium break, the Death Stance does heavy break, but I prefer Death Stance because I got the rune that lets you deal more damage to elites and monsters, so it might be a preference type deal. But either one, and if you don't have the Armor Break skill yet from pulling the rune, you're going to be using Multi-Strike and Death Stance. Now, just as a heads up, you get two ultimates in this game. You unlock the Mutilate ult later. I think this was a mistake on my part. I leveled this twice. It's not a huge deal because it's just a few scrolls, but for the most part, you can kind of hold off on it until you get Mutilate, and this one is a great ult, and I leveled this all the way up. Just all the way. As far as the QTE skills and any of the other skills I haven't mentioned, the quick time event skills you can kind of hold off on. Their damage increase isn't really that high when you level them. I tried leveling a few of them just to see if I could tell a difference, and I couldn't really tell the difference. The only thing that changes is the damage. It doesn't lower cooldown or anything like that, so you can kind of stay away from those. Now, there's wave clear abilities as well, like if there are certain stages that want you to kill like 50 monsters, or like you lose a lot of time in the stage because there's a lot of trash in the dungeon, this Commander's Touch deal is a great skill. So it has a vacuum, and most of the runes have a vacuum. I think one of them doesn't have a vacuum on it, but the default skill without the rune itself has a vacuum on it. So this picks everything up, and if you have like a weapon skill that like does a good amount of cleave, you can just suck everything into the vacuum and then cleave them all down while they're in it. So this is a great skill to have for a utility skill. So, in order of importance, I would say personally, I prefer the weapon skills. So, weapons that you are going to be using for a long time, like Plum Sword, Moonshadow, the Scythe, the Huntsman, like the little shorty shotgun. The on-use skills for those for sure. The damage and the break skills, which are the Armor Break and Death Stance, Multi-Hit, Vital Point, and Mutilate. Like all of those are okay to put skill points in. You'll be a-okay if you put points in any of those. The ultimate, for sure, don't do the first one like I did. That was a mistake on my part. So the ultimate for Mutilate is definitely worth leveling. It does a crap ton of damage. And then the utility skills, lastly, if you have like any leftovers or anything like that. So these are all skills that are worth having and you'll end up using regularly throughout the story and the boss fights in the game. So the game actually gives you 3 loadouts, and my setup that I have right now is I have one for break. So if I need to do break on a boss, I have one build, and if there is a boss with no break and I just need to do damage, I have another one, and then I'll have a like utility thing for wave clear. So yeah. But all in all, these are the skills that I used that got me through most of the game so far, up until 51. I'm sure things might change later on as they do patches and whatnot, but hopefully this was helpful for you guys, and don't forget to like and sub on your way out, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.